But the video that was released is not actually the original video, although there's no evidence that it's been tampered with. Now, Bongino and Patel have had to go out and say there's no evidence other than that Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide. But again, that is also something the base doesn't want to hear. One might even be sympathetic to what Bongino and Patel, who were able, before they were having to be accountable, to say anything they wanted to say. Now they're there holding the documents.
Well, people don't want to take simple representations by government officials. That's what they've been rejecting for all of these months and all of these years. There's a very simple way to do this, and on Monday, I'm calling on Chairman Jim Jordan of the Judiciary Committee for us to have a bipartisan hearing where we bring in Attorney General Bondi, we bring in the FBI Director Kash Patel, we bring in Bongino, we bring in everyone who's related to this, and we ask for them to turn over the files and make them public. The members of Congress on the Republican side don't have to follow what Donald Trump is saying about this. We are an independent branch of government, and if we believe there's a public interest in the release of these documents, as I think we have broad bipartisan support for it, then they should be released. And we should go ahead and have a hearing. We should use our subpoena power to bring them in. They've not appeared before the Judiciary Committee yet.
Do you anticipate that they will do so? Because obviously all the infighting the last couple of days, you've now got Bongino. We don't know whether he's going to show up to work tomorrow. He didn't go into work on Friday. We've got Kash Patel saying he doesn't plan to resign. He's on board with the president, and there's nothing to see here. How do you think this unfolds? Do you think they'll come in and say, yeah, we'll tell you what we got?
Well, look, Donald Trump did not campaign on throwing 14 million people off of Medicaid. And as Steve Bannon has repeatedly pointed out, there are a lot of MAGA people who are going to be affected by that. That looks like, old-fashioned Republican class warfare on working people and on the middle class. But he did campaign on releasing the Epstein tapes. Now there are all these reports about how Trump and Epstein were very close friends and that there's photographs together, there's videotape together, and so on. And then suddenly, they don't want to release any of the information. And that obviously is inflaming the MAGA base, but it's something that should actually concern all Americans, because sexual abuse of children and young people in schools and in colleges is something that afflicts the entire society. And we should be taking it seriously and not sweeping it under the rug.
Congressman Raskin, I want you to stick with me. I want to come back and have a conversation about some of the other scandals going on in this country, including the one involving ICE and the roundup of migrants. Stay with me.
My scalp needs a little extra love, so I'm trying Head and Shoulders Bare. Welcome to your new scalp. Welcome. With just 9 ingredients, Head and Shoulders Bare helps soothe your scalp and controls itch, dryness, and flakes. All with no sulfates, silicones, or dyes. Is this a compliment? No, it's a shampoo.
Yeah, it's great. From the #1 dermatologist recommended brand, Head and Shoulders. The recipe for a long, healthy life. It starts with gently cooking our food to give your dog the nutrients they need without the ultra-processing. Get 50% off your first box only at thefarmersdog.com. You can cook anything, anytime, anywhere. Only on the Blackstone, America's best-selling. Log on to BlackstoneProducts.com to get yours today.
Think of all the places that could expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points, alerts you to threats, and fixes identity theft guaranteed. Backed by our $1 million protection package. Join today.
An official message from Medicare about fraud.
Trading name praise for my Medicare number.
Medicare fraud can happen through text, call, or email.
Holy, try next.
Hello?
I'm calling about your Medicare.
I don't give out my information.
Need to confirm my Medicare number?
No? Delete. Don't give your Medicare number to someone you don't know. Regularly check your Medicare claims to make sure they're right. Learn more at medicare.gov/fraud.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Our right to reproductive health care is being stolen from us.
I can't believe this is the world we live in, where we're losing the freedom to control our own bodies.
We need your support now more than ever. Go online, call, or scan this code with your $19 monthly gift, and we'll send you this Care No Matter What t-shirt.
It is your right to have safe
experience life-changing wins, losses, and
He was being pretty animated in his response in defense of ICE's mass deportation efforts. Certainly seems emboldened about the whole thing. On the other side, there are a whole lot of people, myself included, who are getting very worried about the unruliness of ICE, this idea that many of them are showing up without identification, without badges. There's this concept that they're in danger of being doxxed, which is why they shouldn't be out there, which sort of flies in the face of what we believe policing and law enforcement should be in this country. What's your take on how this is all unfolding?
Well, there's some idea that ICE is somehow separate and apart from the rest of the government and from the Constitution. And of course, every part of the government is regulated by the Constitution, and that means the Fourth Amendment requirement of probable cause and search warrant for searching someone's house. And yet what we're seeing is ICE agents showing up in unmarked cars, masked, and then conducting warrantless arrests of people. And we know that there have been innocent people who've been swept up in the raids, and there have been citizens swept up in their raids. And, I hear from my MAGA colleagues, well, you're not for due process for guilty people, are you? And that's the whole point of due process. You don't know who's guilty and who's innocent until you've actually had due process. And so, yes, as Justice Scalia pointed out, due process has got to apply to citizens and non-citizens, and it's got to apply to everybody before charges are brought, and then even after charges are brought in. Nobody knows that better than Donald Trump, who had every benefit of the presumption of innocence, due process, the right to counsel, and on and on and on, before he was convicted of dozens of felony criminal counts in New York.
Tom Homan says that ICE doesn't need probable cause to arrest people. He literally says they can be rounded up based on what they look like. I don't know. You tell me about this. You're the constitutional expert here.
Well, he's conflating different things. It is true that the police, under existing Fourth Amendment precedent, have the opportunity to stop people if they appear to be dangerous on the street with a reasonable suspicion standard, under a reasonable suspicion standard without a warrant. But that's very different from saying that you can have mass dragnet arrests of immigrants based on reasonable suspicion without an arrest warrant or without probable cause. That's just completely wrong. So you're not talking properly about what the Fourth Amendment says. If there's somebody who appears to be a danger to the police as they're walking down the street, they can stop them, they can question them, they can frisk them. It's very different from mass dragnet arrests of anybody based on mere reasonable suspicion without probable cause and search warrant.
Let's talk a little bit. I mean, we never want this to get far from us. We've obviously dealt with this reconciliation bill, but we haven't really, right? For most average Americans, they haven't even started to feel what the reconciliation bill is going to do to them. The various characterizations are the biggest transfer of wealth upward in the history of this country and the biggest cut in healthcare coverage in this country. What do you and your colleagues plan to do about this in the coming months as Americans start to realize the implications of this bill?
Well, when people learn about the bill, they hate the bill in overwhelming numbers, and so it doesn't surprise me that the Trump's crew are trying to change the subject as quickly as possible. But we're talking about 14 million Americans being thrown completely off of their Medicaid coverage. We're talking about tens of millions of people losing their SNAP nutrition benefits, and this massive upward redistribution of wealth and a huge tax break cut for the wealthiest corporations and people in the country. Now, the Republicans who began to freak out about this in the swing districts got them to say that a lot of the Medicaid provisions don't go into effect until January of 2017, which means we've got the opportunity in the congressional elections next year to make this front and center what the campaign is about. The central part of the campaign will be, do you want to elect Democratic majorities to stop millions of people from being thrown off of their health care and all of these other reactionary changes, or do you want to go through with it? They thought they were clever in saying, well, we'll wait till 2017 so nobody will feel the mass pain of it. We've got to make this the dominant theme of the congressional elections in 2026.
2026 for taking effect, for things that are going to take effect in 2027 and 2028. Congressman, great to see you as always. Thank you for being with us. Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland. All right, coming up, we are going to continue our coverage here on Belcher. We have a lot coming up, including there are more dangers of flash flooding in Texas right now. We're going to tell you a little bit about that and some important new reporting revealing what America's bruised diplomats really think this meant their boss, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
$600 a year. If you're 50 plus, you can save up to that much by switching 2 unlimited lines from Big Wireless to Consumer Cellular. And you've got the same reliable coverage. So why don't you pick up your phone while I take this hammer and... I can't feel my feet. See how we can cut your bills. If you're over 50, get 2 unlimited lines for $30 each. Call Consumer Cellular.
Muddy paws, dirty shoes, endless cleaning, your floors never seem to stay clean. Now there's a simple solution. Meet Muddy Mat, the ultra-absorbent microfiber mat that traps dirt instantly. Engineered with thousands of advanced ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary doormats. Muddy Mat doesn't just catch dirt, it locks it in. Whether it's mud, snow, sand, or water, every step on your new Muddy Mat leaves your floor spotless. And its reinforced rubber backing keeps it firmly in place. No more slipping or sliding. Perfect for your entryway, kitchen, bathroom, or even under your pet's food bowl, Muddy Mat absorbs up to 5 times more water. And when it's time for a cleanup, just toss it in the washing machine and it comes out looking as good as new.
Dog parents, this is a must-have. My floors have never been so clean. I mean, both Ruby and Blue came in covered in mud, and this anti-mud mat left their paws sparkling.
I've got muddy mats all over the house. I even use one as a bath mat. Feels so good under my feet. It's so soft. Non-slip backing makes it safe too.
Multiple dogs have always struggled having dirty balls on the floor. With this mat, I can finally stop stressing out about it because there are no prints.
It's so soft and squishy. I've even found my puppy sleeping on the mat instead of his bed. It works so well, I bought 3 more so I can keep them all over my house.
You just place the Mighty Mat in front of the door and you'll save up so much time cleaning floors. Go get one. Thank me later.
Imagine the relief of coming home to clean floors every day. Call the number on the screen or visit trymuddymat.com or simply scan the QR code right now to claim an incredible 70% off and get your free Muddy Mat today. But hurry, this exclusive offer is available only for a limited time. Once they are gone, they are gone. Don't let dirt dictate your day. Join thousands of satisfied customers who have already transformed their homes with Muddy Mat. Act now. Clean floors, happy home.
Call 1-800-505-1878.
Do you have a life insurance policy you no longer need? Now you can sell your policy, even a term policy, for an immediate cash payment. Call Coventry Direct.
The hopes of many when Rubio was nominated and then unanimously confirmed by the Senate, the only Trump appointee to have that distinction in this administration. In an important new piece in Clock, Julia Yaffe writes that on Rubio's first day, quote, the career foreign and civil service officers greeted him with cautious optimism. He was, after all, considered a serious foreign policy person. He had been a senior member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He seemed like the most normal and credentialed cabinet pick of this administration. He praised his new workforce as the greatest, the most effective, the most talented, the most experienced diplomatic corps in the history of the world. Maybe, as one former State Department official told me, he'd be the adult in the room. Maybe, in the words of one career Foreign Service officer, he was not super MAGA. That hope died within the week. USAID workers were put on leave, and by early February, word came down that nearly everyone at the agency would be let go. The way its workers were treated indicated to Steves that Trump 47 would be far worse than they had originally thought, and that Marco Rubio wouldn't save them. Rumors of a plan for a department overhaul accompanied by massive layoffs paralyzed the rank and file. Rubio became a mute accessory to Trump. Julia Yaffe joins me now. She's family partner and Washington correspondent for Fox News. Julia, good to see you. I was riveted by this article and your ongoing coverage of things that are going on at the State Department. Let's talk about this. The United States has lost in addition to 1,300 more employees and USAID, entire departments, and hundreds or perhaps thousands of years of cumulative years of expertise and experience, which in the State Department is uniquely important.
Yes. I think it's important to remember, though, that even people that you talk to in the State Department will tell
RIFs are reductions in force, so these kind of pink slips that are going out. People weren't being let go because they performed badly or because they were no longer needed. They were being let go because offices that they had been assigned to on or before May 29th were being eliminated, moved, etc. So not because of that specific person and what job they were doing, but because of the office they had been working for at that particular time. And they were being let go even after, even if they had moved on to a new office. And so it's like, hi, being fired from your current job because in your past job, or that past job was eliminated. It's kind of nuts.
And one of the important things to think about here is something else you wrote. You referred to reductions in force, RIFs. You said for months, all anyone at stake could talk about were the reductions in force notices, or RIFs. Not Ukraine, not Gaza, not Iran, but who would be fired and who would be spared. One career Foreign Service officer told me, people don't feel like the secretary has their back. How does that feeling affect the work of the State Department? Because all through the federal government, people are probably feeling like their secretary doesn't have their back. But in this particular case, in this fraught world that you and I both cover, what's the net effect? What's the danger?
Well, they're not making policy. They're not sending things up the chain, any ideas, policy ideas up the chain. But to be frank, nobody wants that from them. It doesn't seem like Secretary of State Marco Rubio is setting policy, right? Why do you need a State Department when you have a deal maker in chief in the White House, right? And you have Steve Witkoff flying around on his behalf, learning about these countries he's trying to make deals with on the fly while these countries kind of take him for all he's worth. So I think people at the State Department understand that their services and their expertise aren't needed and are seen with suspicion. I think the other thing is that people at the State Department have told me is they feel like they're the enemy. Like not only are they not needed, but that they're not trusted, that they're against Trump, that because they tend to lean more liberal than places like the Pentagon or ICE or CBP, that they are seen as kind of the resistance and as enemies to Trump that need to be rooted out, as opposed to this apolitical force that's there to serve the country and spread the American message abroad and be the representatives of our country abroad. But you know, what does the White House need them for? To hand out visas? No. This administration doesn't want anybody coming to America. To generate foreign policy? No. This president isn't interested. Again, these are experts in the world. And think about, what does MAGA hate more than anything, right? Globalists, elitists. And that's kind of what the State Department has become to them, as opposed to a really important tool of American soft power, which is something that this administration doesn't seem to understand at all.
So one of the things you're saying, a lot of people see the State Department as a resistance to Donald Trump. Now within that, there's a counter-resistance that you've been reporting on. Some of these either MAGA-friendly officials or a bunch of people who think the State Department got overrun by sort of liberals who would like more diversity in the operation. And there's something that's developed that you've been writing about called the Ben Franklin Fellowship. Tell me a little about this.
So the Ben Franklin Fellowship is interesting. They kind of want to be something like the Federalist Society has become for the judiciary, a way to remake the State Department and the diplomatic corps and the national security kind of bench that an administration would draw from, more conservative, more MAGA, more kind of America first, as they would put it. Same way that the Federalist Society has become a bench for judicial nominees for the Republican Party. So these guys, and they're mostly guys, are anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion, anti-aid to Ukraine, a lot of this kind of America